Hey YouTube, it's the Jurracmaster, and today I'm bringing you a deck that I personally was not going to make, but I've received quite a few, requests and messages saying that I should make this and that people want to see it. So since a lot of you guys out there want to see this deck, I made it. It's not a deck that I'm a big fan of, but I guess I can make it work. And I'm going to work on it a little bit more for you guys and try to keep you updated on any changes I might come up with for it, like good ideas for it that I didn't think of in making this version. So, that being said, it's probably not a bad deck, I just don't think it's all that great. I can make a somewhat better version of this once the next pack comes out and I get those Evols. And I'm not going to be buying those Evols or anything right off the bat like I did with these Evols. I'm not as excited about those, and there are things that I need money for other than just Yu-Gi-Oh cards, so I can't just completely waste all my money on the next set of Evols that come out. So, I'm going to get into the deck now. It's the Jurrac Evol kind of mix deck, and a lot of people wanted to see that. I just don't see them mixing very well, but I mean, I guess the deck's alright, so. First off, I have 3 Guaiba and 3 Velo. Now those are the only Jurracs I use in here, mainly because they're the easiest way to get out Logia and Dolka, or any other rank 4. And that's kind of what this deck is made to focus on, especially because the Evols do the same thing. All they do is really make Logia and Dolka, and sometimes a different rank 4. So these guys are just the main Jurrac rank 4 making engine. So then I have the Evols, which would be 3 Serato, 3 Volcano, 3 Westlow, and 3 Odonto. I cut out both the Diplo because I wanted room for the Jurrac engine, and this deck has enough level 4 Evols to make it run properly anyway. So then the last monster is just Grand Mole, because this deck doesn't get around anything with 2500 or higher attack very easily, so just good for getting rid of those problematic monsters. It works against Spirit Reaper and other such things that stall against you as well. Stuff that you can't normally get around, other than by wasting a lance, but who wants to do that? So the next part of the deck is the spells, where I have 2 Fossil Dig. This works for searching things for Odonto when you start with that. I don't run this in regular Evols because I don't find it worth searching for the Odonto monster. I'd just rather find a Westlow from the deck and play it that way, and Odonto later on. But it's a workable card, especially because I'm mainly just going to search the Jurracs and start using those to get out rank 4 Exceeds. And then I've got 1 Pot of Duality, just so I can search out Westlow mainly, or whatever else is good from the 3 that I get, because most of the time you probably won't get a Westlow in there. 3 Forbidden Lance, because it's an amazing card. Pot of Avarice for recycling things, mainly the Exceeds, but also the Jurrac engine and the Evols that you don't want to have in the grave, which is basically Volcano, and later game also Odonto. So that's Pot of Avarice explanation right there. Then I have Monster Reborn, Dark Hole, Heavy Storm, Mind Control, and Book of Moon. So that's the spells, and just wrap up the main deck with the traps here. I have 1 Solemn, 2 Solemn Warning, 2 Deprison, 2 Compulse, 2 Bribe, and an Offering to the Snake Deity. Now, that's the main deck I chose to use here. There are plenty of different roads you could take with this, actually. This deck has so many different options, so I just stuck with the Grand Mole, and that was it for special little things in the monsters, but you could do other things like, let's see, you could throw in Doors, Effect Veilers, other stuff like that. You could even put in Battle Faders if you want. Then there are so many different ways you could go with the spells and traps. You could go for a more Evol-based spell and trap lineup. You could go for a more Jurrac-based one. You could go so many different ways. You could have more dualities, less fossil digs, none of one of them or either of them. So many different things you could do. You could go for more offerings, other stuff like that. So this is just the way I decided that it would probably work best for the way I would use this deck. Not that I'm really ever going to run this, except maybe occasionally on Dueling Network. So don't expect too many things in the future with this, except after the next pack, or if people persistently ask for an update, then I'll have to come up with something for you guys. So the next part, I only did an extra deck, no side deck. So what I have in the extra deck is 3 Logia, 3 Dolka, 1 Roach, 2 Utopia, 2 Leviair, 1 Leviathan, 1 Zen Mains, and 2 Gashi Gashi Dantetsu. So this main deck has absolutely no tuners, yeah. So I didn't want to put in synchros, even though there's always the possibility of someone giving me a tuner through a creature swap kind of thing, or of them, them summoning it and me mind controlling it. That being said, I thought about putting in either Effect Veilers or 1 Aolo. There are plenty of things you could do with this deck to change it up, but in this build, I'm not running any synchros. I'm just leaving room for the Exceeds. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that this was a good enough Jurrac Evol build to satisfy everyone that wanted to see one from me. And thanks for watching. Hope it helped. Hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day.